Okay, so here we are. This is week 4 of our Zoom meetings for our 8-week leadership class. So this week, I wanted to sort of take a moment. We've had a lot of information downloaded in the last 3 weeks, a lot of things for you guys to process and think about, implement, talking about, resetting your goals, using the comp plan as a strategy to achieve those goals. And then last week's call was just chock full of things about building belief and not self-sabotaging, and even the time management stuff. I mean, we blew through a lot in 30 minutes last week. So I wanted just to take a moment this week to open it up to you guys a little bit, allow you guys to share some stories or some successes, some things that maybe you've modified or changed and you're finding success with, or even something that you're like, I tried this and it's not working. How do I tweak it? What am I missing? Just some dialogue this week. So the easiest way for me to do that is for you to put into the chat that you want to talk or that you have a question, and then I can call on you. Make sure that you know how to unmute yourself. That's the easiest thing, is just you guys manually unmute yourselves when you're ready to talk. But that's what the topic for today is. So this is week 4. So in weeks 5, 6, 7, and 8, 5, 6, and 7, just so you know what's coming and you don't ask questions necessarily related to this. So next week, we're really going to go into sharing your story and sponsorship. I've got some new ideas and some new things related to those topics of bringing women in and sponsoring women. And then the week after is getting a new CE off to a good start, using the Smart Start, how to work with new CEs successfully, helping them get their business launched. And then the next week after that is leading a team, working with people, knowing, being a strategic mentor, knowing who to work with, how much time to do those kinds of things. So that's sort of what's coming. So what I want to focus on today is what we've already talked about: the goal setting, the comp plan, and some time management and belief. So with that, let's see. I had Amber say that she wanted to share. So Amber, why don't you start us off with, I'm assuming, a success story or something that you wanted to share. So Amber?
Sure. Good morning, everybody. So I guess I just wrote a list of stuff that have personally happened with me. At Empower, I learned that, I'm enough. And that extremely touched me. I can't remember the name of the lady that did the speech, but I am enough, and I'm enough to be a leader, and I'm enough for my team to be able to look up to me. That I am made for greatness, and what I've really been focusing on, and I think that we were focusing on, and what they wanted to get across to us at Empower, is personal growth. For us to be able, if we don't believe in ourselves, how are we going to convince others that they need to believe in themselves too? So that's been a big thing for me. Lots of reading. Connecting personally with our artisans and our story and our mission, and then sponsoring. I've always heard, you want to be successful and you want to grow your team, well, you need to sponsor. That's one of the most important things. You need to sponsor and grow your team. And I knew that. I've heard it a million times, but at Empower, it just kind of clicked, and I've sponsored 4 women in less than a month. And they've all been women that have the same heart, the same mind, the same spirit as I do. And, that's the kind of team that I want to grow. So I've really been intentionally thinking about, who do I want to grow my team with? Who do I want to have on my team? Who can I connect with and really work out this mission, with like-hearted women? So just being more intentional, really, and believing in myself, and personal growth has been my success story. So thank you.
That's awesome, Amber. Hold on. I'm going to switch. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's amazing. And that's just proof right there that the way that your mind is set, and you know, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. You know, your mind is extremely powerful, and when you believe and truly believe, and it starts to get into your core, things start to happen. It's really remarkable that a mindset shift, and like you said, at Empower, it just clicked. I mean, I think every single person in this business who's been in it for any amount of time can share a similar moment where you're like, oh my gosh, I need to sponsor more, or this is how I want to sponsor, or this is the focus that I want to put into my business, intentionality, or whatever it is, you know, because we are in the personal growth business. So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And I bet others will see themselves in that situation as well. And it's true. You have to believe in yourself first, and then you have to flip that switch and start to bring other people in and sponsor. And that's where it happens. Okay. Does somebody else have a story of a success that you want to share? Nobody else has put that in the chat. Ashley Forces, asked about income producing activities. So obviously if you're managing your time well, and, we talked about eating your frog first and doing your Sunday. How many of you did a Sunday, or even yesterday, a Monday readiness for the week? Anybody sit down for 10 minutes yesterday and get ready for your week? I did. It's huge. It's so freeing to sit down and plan your week a little bit, and it only takes 10 minutes. I know some people went out and got my calendar. I love my calendar. I need to buy a new one. I need to get one that goes into 2018. But income producing activities, like what do you do when you're sitting there for your half an hour, your hour every day? Well, you know that the basics of our business are booking, selling, sponsoring, and continuing education. So those really are the things that you would focus your activities on. Selling is the immediate income producing activity, like literally it produces income immediately. So selling is where it starts. If you don't have parties on your calendar, the thing that you do is book parties. Once you have those parties, the thing that you do is hostess coaching those parties to be the best that they can be. Other things related to parties and sales, and we're going to talk a little bit about this next week, but, practicing your party presentation, making sure that you're, like, if you've got a party that night, you might have like party prep time, get yourself mentally ready for the party, pack your bag, get ready for your party, entering orders, closing parties. Those are all income producing activities related to your sales. Sometimes you are going to be doing some customer care calls, or you're going to be getting outside sales because you want to get a hostess to. How many of you do, like, if your hostess is at $850, you start hustling to get her to $1,000? I mean, that's something I do all the time. And, it doesn't have to be her party guests that place orders through her parties. I've got other customers that might need something or want something. So those kind of things would be an income producing activity. I might sit down and say, okay, who do I have that's almost to a backpack? And I'm going to work on that party today. The catalyst calling. So all of those things are related to your sales. They are all income producing activities. They're all valuable things to sit down and work on when you have that time. World change starts with selling the products that the artisans make. That's the number one thing that we do. We are in the direct selling business. So sales is always going to be your top income producing activity. Other things that are income producing are sponsoring. If you want to sit down and invite some people to the legacy event and send out some messages related to that, go back through your party, and maybe you did a Facebook party, or you did a party and you've got your order forms, go back through and make contact with the people that said they were interested in learning more about being a compassionate entrepreneur. Even if they didn't say they were interested, you might want to give them a call, see if they got their order, tell them there's an event you would love to invite them to coming up on Monday or Sunday, because there's always one, and invite them to that. Setting up coffee chats, doing coffee chats, those are always income producing activities. Coaching, once you have a team, that is, and I'm going to get to this more in depth, but the most income producing activity that you can do in terms of coaching is working with new people and working with people that are actually producing. And I don't mean that to sound harsh, but that is if you want to know what's income producing, those are the activities related to coaching that are income producing. Working with brand new people because you believe in everybody, you rely on no one. Everybody has an equal shot to be successful at this business. So you work with the people that are new, and you work with the people that are actually putting some numbers on the board. That's, if you're trying to decide who to work with, those are the two groups that you start with. And those are going to be, the people that you want to coach. Obviously, you're also working with leaders, and you've got your steady and faithful, we'll call them, but those people, you're not going to talk to them necessarily once a week. That might be more of a once a month kind of thing. Those are the main areas of income producing activities. The other things like personal growth and branding and social media and things like that, marketing, those are important, but in terms of like which ones are the most income producing and working your way down, they're more, they're like, I would put personal growth like third on the list. Do you need to do personal growth activities every week? Absolutely, 100%. When I saw a statistic the other day that said, like, the average entrepreneur reads like 60 books. I forgot what it was. I don't know. It's a crazy amount of reading. I mean, the fact that Amber talked about reading is huge. Warren Buffett spends like 4 hours a day reading. I mean, reading good books and constantly pouring into yourself in terms of personal growth is tremendously important. And asking yourself, what am I reading? What am I watching? Who am I being accountable to? The fact that you guys are part of this group is huge. This is an incredible personal growth activity for you to participate in, just as an accountability. Am I asking for what I need? What am I doing with my strengths? And then am I taking time for self-care? Are you finding joy in your business or are you like frustrated and annoyed with everything and you're not having fun? I mean, you should be having fun in your Trades of Hope business. You should be enjoying what you're doing. You may not love every element of the business, but there should be more things that you enjoy than not. But personal growth can be an income producing activity because it keeps your head straight. It keeps you going. It fills your tank. You think about like filling a bucket with water, right? But when you go over rocky ground, like carrying that bucket, water spills out, and that's life. Like you're never walking over a perfectly smooth street that there's no bumps in the road. There's bumps all along the way, so that water splashes out. So you got to put it back in. And that's where personal growth comes in. So hopefully that answered your question a little bit, Ashley. And I love that you said you went from 0 to 1,000 in less than a week. Yes, a lot can happen in a few days, which is why I always I'm like, there's 10 days left in the week or in the month. It's a whole third of the month. Like the month isn't over until, 1 a.m. Eastern time on the last day. Just ask some of these, ask Sabrina. She promoted to manager in the final hours. Yay for Sabrina. Woo-hoo. But yeah, the month is long. Days are long. So you got to run to the very, very end. Okay, let's see. Okay, Denise wanted to ask about organization and setting up an office. Okay, well, I'm not great at this, but I will say that one of the most important things that I have done and that I think you should do, and it might help you, is to just make sure you have your core systems for your business in place. My office is often messy and whatever, but I have some key systems in place that I always know I can go to, and that's where I can get the information that I'm looking for. So I might set it up a little bit differently. I might have a different filing thing or whatever, but my systems have never changed. And I've shared them with you guys many times, but I will share them with you again because some of you guys are new. The calendar is huge. I don't ever leave my house without my calendar because you never know when you're going to book a party. You never know, this is everything. Like my whole life is in this calendar. So I always have this with me, and so I've shared that with you a little bit. I always have my party manager document with me, which it sounds more fancy than it is. It's just a Word document with like a table in it, like that I made. But this is on the Hostess Coaching video that I did like 2 years ago. And it's definitely in the file section of the Great Love Nation. But it just has number host information, date and time, packet, email, 1, 2, 3, and notes. This is how I do all my hostess coaching, and it's all of my parties are right here. I like them to be written somewhere because I don't want to always log into the back office to have to get a party number or look on a Facebook event. Like, it's literally in my calendar, carried with me everywhere I go. So if I'm sitting at gymnastics, or I'm sitting in the car line or whatever, and a hostess is like, what's my party link again? I've got it right here, okay, because her party number is written right here. I've got her phone number, her email. I know when I've sent her packet because I check it off. I put the date. I know when I've emailed her with her invitation wording. And then the 1, 2, and 3 are the 3 times that I'm going to contact her. I mean, this is just like, this is my hostess coaching system. So this works really well for me. But I think you should, it used to be just a legal pad that I carried around with me. Same thing. But you should have all of your party information in one easy to carry with you and easy to access place, and not have to dig into the back office every time you need a number. So that's my hostess coaching system. My booking system is this little notebook that I carry around with me. It's got my, and I don't do it every day, but I'll put together a list of people that I'm going to call for bookings. And then I check it off after I call. I put whether I left a voicemail. I highlight them if they're going to get back to me with a date. Cross them off if they're a no, that kind of thing. So this little notebook, it's small, it's easy. It's got order forms tucked in it because these are people that said they would do parties. So that's like my booking system. I use my Join My Team notebook for sponsorship, which is right here, which is great. Again, everything's portable, which is nice. All of my systems can easily be put into a bag and taken with me. So Join My Team notebook, which we'll talk about next week when we talk about sponsorship a little bit more. And other than that, like for my parties themselves, they get clipped together with a Post-it note with the hostess's name on it. So I've got all the party order forms here. After I enter all the orders and I'm getting ready to close the party, I'll file these order forms into future parties, potential CEs, and then there might be an other, like if there was some other weird or interesting connection or something. And then the rest of it just stays put together with the hostess's name and goes into a file. I keep these, like any open parties, just sitting on my desk in a designated area. And that's pretty much my systems. I could go into parties and stuff. I have a green folder that I take to parties with me for all my order forms and stuff at parties. But other than that, there's nothing magical. I just think you need to trust yourself that keeping it simple, and the main things you need to keep track of are hostess coaching, parties, bookings, and sponsorship things. So creating a system related to those areas is really important. So hopefully that helps you a little bit, Denise. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Don't get caught up in the school supply aisle. I know I do that. I get lost in like Staples and I'm looking at everything. I'm like, I should have this filing system and I should do this. I don't. I have a couple of key files that I have like my hostess packets in and stuff like that. And I have a drawer for my catalogs and order forms. So just really simple things. Just keep things that you're going to need frequently handy. All right. What else? Anything that has been surprising to you or exciting to you, or that you've been able to share with your team? Everything that we're doing in this Leadership 8-week program is meant for you to be able to pass on to others. Just pop in the chat if you want to talk, and I'd be happy. How many years back Colleen wants to know. I have them all. My husband was finally like, can we put these somewhere else? So I took parties from like 2013 and 14, and I put them in a couple of shoe boxes, and they're in my closet. But yeah, I pretty much have my order form since day one. I know, I can't throw them away. Tracy Warren wants to share. Awesome. Go for it.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So a couple of things. One is that a big shout out to Susan Johnson for sharing her Facebook party with me. I have had way more success combining her format with a couple of the new Trades of Hope posts for the Facebook party. And these are much more doable for me because I'm not going live, and have now had a $300 party and a $400 Facebook party. So I'm getting back to what was working in the beginning, and that's always a good thing. But it also allows me to book more Facebook parties if I don't have to be completely present. I can add anybody that wants to a Facebook party. Just know that I'm giving credit to Susan because some of the posts are hers. Most of the posts are hers. But then tweaked it, and I like, there's a couple things that I really truly love from the new Facebook, or from the new Trades of Hope one, like the artisans dancing, that video, you know, a couple little things like that. The other thing that I've started to do is in my hostess coaching for Facebook hostesses, I'm really trying to get her to have at least one person that will agree to make a purchase ahead of time. And that allows me to give a shout out during the party, at the end of the party, that first order is already in. So it's starting to create that momentum that people are going to jump on board. And then when I give that shout out, I am taking one of our artisan stories and sharing that. So every part, you know, I'll look at their order and see where did their order come from. Was it Bangladesh? And then I share the Bangladesh picture with the blurb, just, you know, simple copy pasted from our training toolbox. And people are really enjoying that. And it's allowing me to get basically more posts and more stories out there without it being part of the Facebook party. And then also people that are late to the party are seeing all of those things. And even if that's all they see, they're getting it. So I think that has been super helpful. The other thing is that I'm a, like with Denise in terms of the struggle with organization. But I have found, I ended up making, I mean, it's nothing fancy. It's just a little black and white sheet. But for my hostesses, it's just more in depth because I forget everything. Like every single tiny thing has to be on here or I will forget it. So this has, you know, like, did I send the hostess packet? Did I talk to them about a pre-show booking and the pre-show order? Did I get their wish list? What is their hostess why? Did I actually give the giveaway away like I said I was going to? You know, did I mail out the prize? Those are things that did I enter the sales? Seriously.
Did I book the party? Like, I don't even know.
Yeah, I know.
Is this party real?
People, you know, if people are telling me on the Facebook party, yes, I'll book a party. Did I actually book it? You know, did I actually talk to them? Or literally I find messages from people, you know, I was working this last week and was going to message people for parties. And there were 2 that had said, yes, I'll book a party. And I had never responded to them. So I am just that person that has to have every single thing written down. Okay. So that was success number 1, was with the Facebook parties. The other I don't remember, except that
you didn't write it down.
I didn't write it down. Somebody else was talking. But the other thing, it might have been associated with this. I think I was going to say, I feel like one of my successes or like strong points is onboarding new CEs. And so I really just focus on our wonderful Smart Start poster. But one of the things that I'm going to start to do is have them fill it all out at the beginning in pencil. And, you know, from their why to filling out who all of their parties are and who their new CEs are. So it's basically going to be like their dream hostess and dream CE board from the beginning, and have them snap a picture of it and send it to me, you know, in that first week that they have their poster. Because just putting that down with intention is going to be really important for them. So I'm going to help walk them through that, but filling that out. The other thing I wanted to just ask about, it says under start here, it says place an order every week. And I'm not loving the way that that's worded. You see in the green box, it says place an order every week. I think what they're getting at is that we're attempting to have a party go in every week.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think that means like place a personal order.
Right.
I've never noticed that before.
But yeah, that I feel like I might I might need to explain that, to that new person, because this is not a business where we're pushing on people to make purchases. So it just came across like that. And I just noticed it.
I would put that in the suggestion box. Stat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to just start really having this up in my office, my blank one, and constantly going back to this, because I do think that as our people are new, if they stay connected and just do what's on this poster, like big things can really happen.
Yeah. Awesome. And actually, I've learned a lot from, I've learned a lot from Tracy. It's just, you learn a lot from everybody, but Tracy came into this business with a lot of experience. And it's so interesting to hear somebody's kind of outside perspective on your company and as a new compassionate entrepreneur. And she was like, and even the term onboarding we don't really use, but I've started to use it. She's like, onboarding here it's so simple. You just focus on, the app, the Smart Start, and getting your first party booked. And I'm like, you're onto something. And pretty sure that the reason myself, Tracy, and Tracy Fountain were the top 3 leaders for the company was because of Tracy Warren's influence, with really keeping things simple at the beginning. So I appreciate Tracy's perspective a lot, just kind of seeing the tool that is available and running with it and keeping it really simple. And that is definitely going to be the topic for week after next, is going in a little further in depth to that. And I love that idea of kind of using that poster as like a dream board for a new CE. That's really cool. Awesome. All right, we've just got like 2 more minutes. If there's anybody else that wanted to share something or have some clarification on something, I am open to you.
Can I say something real quick, just again?
What's that? I can't. Who's talking?
Can you hear me?
No, I can't ever hear anybody without my headphones.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, who is that? Who is it? Who's talking?
It's Amber.
Amber. Oh, Amber again. Okay, go ahead.
Hi. Okay, so I have really focused on Eric Worre. We've got his book in the back office. I've watched a lot of his videos, and he came out with a video yesterday that really kind of helped me put in. I remember when I was, a new CE and new at network marketing, and you get bogged down really easy. So for coaching your new CEs, those ones that want to give up so easily, it doesn't matter if you continue living your life the way it is, it's going to be hard. But if you want to grow and be successful and put in the work, that's still going to be hard too. So it doesn't matter what you choose. Are you going to continue to grow and work as a CE and, in network marketing, or are you going to continue living this life that you're not so proud of or happy with? Either way is going to be hard. So he said, choose your hard. Are you going to do things hard this way or do things hard this way and become a better person? So sometimes people don't think that way. They're just so. Eric Worre, E-R-I-C is his first name, and Worre, W-O-R-R-E. Go look him up on YouTube. He's got some really amazing videos. You're welcome. So I just want to say that. Choose your hard. Get your CEs to choose their hard.
Well, and yeah, I mean, I think that kind of goes along with the idea from Josh Metcalf that, or no, it wasn't even Josh Metcalf. It was the other book that I was reading that was about, understanding that life is a series of problems, and they are problems that are designed for you to solve, and that life is never going to be easy. It's never going to be, worry-free or trouble-free. But that when you fall in love with your own problems, your own crap, and you learn to enjoy it, and that happiness is actually in problem solving, because it's all hard, it's all frustrating, and you can choose to make it a good day or a crappy day. You can choose you know, which route you want to take. And yeah, right. Love your own crap. Like, it's awesome. Because it was made for you, and it was designed to help you grow and help you expand. And, you know, and don't blame those outside factors, you know, look inside. When you're struggling with something. So yeah, Amber, I think, you know, you're obviously on a path of really powerful, personal growth. And I think everybody here is, you know, you wouldn't be here if you weren't interested in growing, you weren't passionate about your business, you weren't willing to choose the hard things and do the hard things. I mean, we're talking about, you know, ending global poverty with jewelry parties. Like, how hard is that? It's super hard, but it's so worth it. And it's so rewarding to dig in and make this business model work and use the you know, the tools that are there, and, you know, the model of direct selling, and then to grow into that and believe in the model to achieve the thing that we're trying to achieve, which is creating jobs to empower women out of poverty. Like, that's crazy, but awesome. And it's a hard thing, but it's totally worth the fight. Tracy, did you have your hand up, or was that from earlier? You had your hand up? No? Okay, you lowered your hand. I love Zoom. It's so fun. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for being on today. Next week, we will get into sharing your story and sponsorship. Hopefully some new things. I've got some new perspectives that I want to share. And then digging into getting CEs off to a good start and using the Smart Start. And then leading a team, working with a team. Being a strategic mentor. Those are the topics that are forthcoming, and then we'll use the 8th week for kind of a debrief and that kind of thing. So continue to work on what we've been doing, laying those foundations of having your goal, using that comp plan. September is a great month for you know, strategy, you know, using that comp plan to work towards a promotion. I'm sure that some of you are working towards a promotion this month, which is exciting. And remember, September is the highest month industry-wide for sponsorship. The kids went back to school today. It's the day after Labor Day, right? Like, everybody's in school now. So every mom out there is like, whoo, I have so much time. I want to go get a facial, but I can't afford it. I need to do a home-based business. What am I going to do? So make sure that she picks Trades of Hope, okay? All right. You guys have a great day. Have a wonderful week. And if you're in Florida, stay away from Irma. Bye.
Thanks, Erin.
Bye, guys.